Okay, so I've got Revit open, and all I'm going to do there is click on the architectural template shortcut under projects on the left to start a new file. And that's the template you should always use for your own projects. And so if you already have a file open, you can do the same thing by going to the main menu and choosing New, Project, and then selecting Architectural Template from the list there. So you shouldn't ever need to use these other templates. Structural templates are for structural engineers, mechanical templates for mechanical engineers, and then construction templates are more for builders and people like that. So architectural is the one you should always use. And you can tell straight away if you've got the right one because of the views that you're given initially in the project browser. So it should start with ground floor as the open view. And if you see other categories like structural, you know you've got the wrong one. And it's important that you get the template right. If you don't start with the right template, it's a bit difficult to change things afterwards. And so then, looking at the drawing here, make sure you know firstly that we have all the resources there in the Balmain Warehouse folder on the P drive. So just to go through that again, once you go to Student Resources then P, EDU, DC Interior Design, and then CAD 2, you'll see Balmain Warehouse, and it's a range of drawings, but I don't think there's a copy of the plan, so you'll need a copy from the design class you've been supplied with. Sorry, yeah, that sheet, there's another one that goes with it that does have a plan, but it'd be different to yours anyway. And so remember as well, the photos here are from the real building, and your drawings are a little bit different to what's really there. So so just make sure you're following the drawings you've been issued with, and I'll definitely scan those and put them on to the P drive at some point later as well. But for now, just make sure you do have a copy of the drawings. And so I'm going to start with the internal dimension, and because you're going to be working mainly on interior design projects, I'm assuming, that's usually going to be the way you would start any project. So here they haven't given you a total dimension by the look of it for the interior, and that's okay. We can go through and just work that out. Yes, they're giving you running dimensions with no... Oh yeah, sorry, they do have an overall, so I thought it had been chopped off. Yep, you've got an overall. Yep. Yep. And then the other way, 6900, so that makes life easy. And so then with reference planes, it's always a good idea to set out those main dimensions. And so I'm just going to draw a couple of a couple of vertical reference planes to set out the horizontal measurement between them, and make that 11500. And I'm just drawing reference planes. So then going the other way, crossing over those to draw two horizontal. So like I said, I had to go at this afterwards once I've done this first setup, and the next dimension is 6900, which is pretty close to what I've already got, but just change that. So that's exactly what you would have done in that last exercise. And so it's good to think about this process whenever you start something in Revit, setting out your main measurements, and in this case it's the measurements for the interior space. And then your wall thicknesses, I think maybe aren't dimensioned on here, and it's absolutely fine if they're not because of the way I'm going to draw it. So just to follow through things in the same way you did in the last exercise, I'm going to use the wall tool, walls architectural, and then you can always click on the top part of the button if you just want to use the first option there to save you going to the menu each time. So here I'm just going to click on the top there above the line on that button. Saves a bit of time. And you have a wall you should have a wall in your properties panel called generic 300mm wall. And so I'm going to simply change the location line there to finished face interior, because we have the interior dimension set out there. And I'll leave the height. Sorry? Oh, on the options bar at the top, you've got that green bar, and then, yeah. So, and if you don't see that, you can always do it in properties as well. So the first property there, in the properties panel, location line, and that'll do the same thing. And so I'm going to click onto the intersection of one of these walls and then draw clockwise. So if you draw clockwise, it'll go to the right side. If I go anti-clockwise, you can see the wall's going inside the reference planes, and we don't want that. We want the wall to go outside of the reference planes so that we're left with that interior dimension the way it's been set out. I've clicked on the 4 intersection points, and all I'm going to do now is set the heights, and then I'll let you have a go at this. So in the south elevation in my project browser, I've just double clicked on that to open it, and then looking at the section here, you don't really have any vertical dimensions that have been supplied to you, and again, that's absolutely fine because of the way Revit does things. All we really need to have is a level nominated for those things, and then when we know the height, we can plug that in. Oh, is that the ceiling height? Yep. So okay. So if it's yeah, that's to the ceiling, and then we can maybe assume that it's got a well, let's just say it's got a 400mm floor structure. It's probably not even that much, but if it is 400mm, that'd make the next level 3000. But if it's something different, not a problem. That can be changed really easily later. And so now, again, on the architecture tab, you have level. It's near reference planes, and it's good to think of these as being similar to reference planes. We set out the plan dimensions with reference planes, and then I'm going to set out the vertical dimensions using levels. So I'm going to draw a new level, left to right, so that it puts the label on the right-hand side. And I'm going to call this level, well, could put level 1. I was going to put TOW. So TOW is top of wall. And because there won't be a floor there, obviously, up at that height, but the walls should finish there. And so again, we don't really know that height. We can maybe assume for now that it's similar to the lower level. It's probably lower, if anything, but for now I'll just make that, say, 6000. And then very last thing before giving some time to do is, I'm going to select all of those walls. And I'll show you a couple of ways. You can try using Tab, and then click. So all I did there was move the cursor onto the edge, press Tab, and you can see it says chain of walls. And if I click now, you'll see it'll get all 4 walls. And I can tell because in brackets next to walls here it says number 4. So I do have all 4 selected, even though it's hard to tell by looking. But I'll show you another way. You can also make a window around all of those walls. That's going to select the reference planes as well. But I can click on the filter button up the top and then turn off the reference planes, click OK, and again now I've got the 4 walls. I can do that either way. And now in properties I'm just going to change top constraint to that new level I made, level TOW. Yeah, that's right, exactly, up to level, yeah, that's right, yeah. So what that means is later, when we know the exact height of this top of wall, and we change the height of that level, the walls will all go with the level. So we don't have to go and select each wall every time we want to change the height. So maybe I'll just click on the 3D button just to finish it off. So basic box set out for the building, but that's the shape of it. And so I'll give you some time to try that, and then we can have a go at putting the floors and the openings.